Well, for those of us who are about to head outside in the next hour or two, Cedric, we're just wondering, what are we running into out there?
Yeah, things are changing, and some of it's good, some of it's bad. So the heavy rain is pushing to the east. We still have some of the gusty winds, but they are calming down just a little bit. So let me show you kind of where we're standing now. You can see the more widespread high wind gusts are pushing off to the east, but they're still sustained at about 10 to 15 miles per hour across the area. So you're going to notice that breeze sticking around this evening, but they're not like what they were earlier today. Winds gusting up to close to 50 miles per hour in Chattanooga earlier today, over 30 miles per hour in many other areas. Now keep in mind, a tropical storm, you have winds that gust over 38 miles per hour or so and higher. So for many areas, this was the second time this week we basically had tropical storm conditions in the middle of wintertime. But thankfully, again, those winds are starting to come down, but they're still going to be fairly gusty throughout the afternoon hours. Now, so look at some of the storm reports. You can see there were several official wind damage reports coming in from earlier today as that high wind gusts that kind of made their way on through outside of any thunderstorms as expected. But again, that's slowly beginning to fade away now, which is, again, some good news. So look at the weather map. Again, you can see the last of the more widespread rain now continues to push to the east with this front. The cold front itself has now made its way off towards the east. So a couple of spotty showers still left over in the eastern half of the area. Those will be coming to an end soon. We've got some breaks in the clouds back here towards Middle Tennessee, so it would not be impossible to see a break or two in the clouds before the sun sets this evening, but then we'll have some wraparound cloud cover and maybe even a snow flurry across the higher elevations later on tonight. But for the most part, we're pretty much done with the inclement weather as we go into the evening. But with the wind sticking up and some colder air pouring in, that will lead to a wind chill as we go throughout later tonight into early Saturday morning. But that's just the beginning of the cold air that's going to be moving in. The floodgates have opened up to Canada, and you can see all of the, I call it the Barney Purple. So if you like the Barney Purple, it's heading south and east, and that is the Arctic blast, coldest air since December 2022 when we had that pipe bursting cold. That's going to be returning to the area in the coming days. Now tonight, it's going to be frigid, but we're not going to look at that type of cold weather. Mid to upper 20s for overnight lows. The wind staying up 20 to 35 miles per hour at times. That means the wind chill will likely be in the teens by tomorrow morning, and the wind concerns will stick around as well. So that's why we still have these wind alerts in effect for the entire area as we go throughout the rest of this evening and tonight. Now tomorrow, sunshine. It will be a chilly day, but overall pretty warm considering what we have coming up for us with high temperatures in the mid to upper 40s across the area with that sunshine. Should be a somewhat decent day. But as we mentioned, that Barney Purple is heading southbound, and it will be arriving here this weekend, and especially for the first half of next week. That's when we're going to be tracking that Arctic blast moving in. But it's not just the cold temperatures. Yes, we're going to be seeing these temperatures on the frigid side for us. But yes, we've also got to talk about that chance of some winter precipitation Monday into Tuesday. So I'll have more on that for you coming up a little later. But I did want to point your attention to Tuesday night, where when we have some snow and ice, after that, we could see those low temperatures getting close to the single digits in many spots, I think, by the time we get towards the beginning of next week or around the middle of next week. So that's something to kind of prepare for this weekend before that very cold air arrives. Now, as far as winter weather goes, of course, we continue to keep you updated here. Now that we're about 2 to 3 days away, the confidence, again, increasing that we're going to have winter precipitation Monday into Tuesday. Right now, it looks like a wintry mix turning over to snow as we get into your Monday into Tuesday. Still a little early for the specifics in terms of how much and who will see the most out of this. But what I will say is this does look to be enough, especially with these cold temperatures, to possibly have some impacts to travel and situations like that as we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So we want you to stay aware, kind of giving you that storm alert for that a little early, just so that you have an idea. We've got some major changes heading your way. 47 for your Saturday. Again, take care of those cold preparations. Then Sunday only in the 30s for highs, and then it's all downhill from there next week. Look at that. Highs not getting above freezing for several days. Lows getting close to the single digits by the middle of the week. And of course, all eyes will be on Monday and Tuesday for maybe some wintry weather. Hey, maybe even another chance by the end of next week. So winter arrives next week for sure.